Are you ready to get an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the design process of one of the most highly anticipated vehicles of the year? On today's episode, we're excited to have Tesla's chief designer Franz von Holzhausen on the Ride the Lightning Tesla podcast to give us a sneak peek of the new Cybertruck and the upcoming redesign of the Tesla Roadster. As fans of Tesla, we know that the company tends to keep a tight lid on its upcoming projects. But thanks to an in-depth interview with Franz von Holzhausen on the Ride the Lightning Tesla podcast, we're getting a rare glimpse into the inner workings of the design process at Tesla. And trust us, it's worth the wait. With over 25 years of experience in the automotive industry, von Holzhausen is an industry veteran. From working at companies like Volkswagen, GM, and Mazda to leading the design team at Tesla for the past 15 years, he's been the driving force behind some of the most iconic electric vehicles on the road today. From the Model S to the Cybertruck, von Holzhausen's portfolio is nothing short of impressive. On today's episode, we delve into the design process of Tesla's latest vehicles with none other than the company's chief designer, Franz von Holzhausen. Recently, Franz went on the Ride the Lightning Tesla podcast and shared some exciting information on the new Cybertruck and the redesign of the Tesla Roadster. As an industry veteran, having worked for companies such as Volkswagen, GM, and Mazda, Franz has been Tesla for 15 years and has played a significant role in the design of almost all Tesla vehicles, including the Model S, Model X, and Model Y, the Tesla Semi, and of course, the Cybertruck. You may recall that Franz is the one who famously hit the Cybertruck with a sledgehammer and broke the unbreakable window with a metal ball during its unveiling in 2019. In the interview, he goes into depth about the design processes of the Cybertruck and the upcoming second-generation Roadster. And even though he remains tight-lipped about certain aspects of the Roadster, we get a great insight into Tesla's overall design strategy. Podcast host Ryan McCaffrey starts off by discussing the unique nature of the Cybertruck's stainless steel body, comparing it to the DeLorean. Though the DeLorean is one of the most recognizable stainless steel vehicles ever produced, Franz is keen to distance the Cybertruck from the failed 80s sports car. He doesn't deny that the DeLorean may have come up during design meetings, but he emphasizes that it was not a direct inspiration. The Cybertruck's body is made of a stressed skin, exoskeleton, and structure, making it more like an airplane rather than a car. The finish on the truck is designed to be scratch-resistant and repairable, and the integrity of the body is so important that the team even considered not offering color options. The DeLorean and the Cybertruck may seem similar on the surface, but they actually have a crucial difference in their exterior design. While the DeLorean boasts stainless steel body panels, the Cybertruck has a unique stressed skin exoskeleton and structure that makes it resemble an airplane more than a traditional car. The Cybertruck's exterior is not your standard brushed finish that you may find on other stainless steel products, such as watches or kitchen appliances. Instead, Tesla opted for a finish that is not only more resistant to reflective glare, but also more scratch-resistant and easy to repair. During the 2019 unveiling of the Cybertruck, the design team showcased its strength by having a team member take a sledgehammer to the side of the show model, creating a small scratch on the door. However, the team has made sure that the truck's finish is repairable even by the average Tesla owner. The integrity of the Cybertruck's exterior is so important to the design team that they even considered not offering any options for color or tinting, as it would detract from the overall resilience of the stainless steel exoskeleton. This confirms the suspicion of many Tesla fans that the Cybertruck's exterior is designed for maximum toughness and durability. After that, the conversation quickly covered how Franz feels about Tesla's competitors in the electric truck space. Tesla is oddly not the trailblazer for that particular market. Rivian, Ford, GMC, even smaller companies like Canoo are already crowding the space. But Franz says this is a good thing. It shows that Tesla's mission to push the industry towards electricity is working. And given the specs of the Cybertruck, He says he's confident that Tesla is still the leader in this space. The subject of the conversation swerves off towards other products after that, with McCaffrey making mention of the next-gen Tesla Roadster project, a prototype of which was apparently sitting right next to the two. As they talked on this project, Franz was more tight-lipped, but while he said he couldn't give away any secrets just yet, he did mention that if you're wondering about the capabilities, you should be thinking of what a leap forward the Model S Plaid was and extrapolate forwards from there. The Model S Plaid is the fastest vehicle Tesla has ever produced, so that's quite the boast. But Franz said that while he's working fairly regularly on the Roadster, it's just not a priority for the company right now. Tesla is focusing on the mass production of more accessible vehicles in their push to electrify the automotive industry, and making new luxury sports cars just isn't at the top of the list for design work right now. But he did say that he and his team do work on the Model S more or less constantly. He specifically mentioned that his work lately has been with the UI of the vehicle's dashboard infotainment system, but he also touched on the manufacturability of the vehicle, which built into Franz's thoughts on Tesla's design philosophy. While speaking about how much time he spends on the Model S, Franz also acknowledged that this is a strategy used for almost all Tesla vehicles currently. When asked about Model 3, for instance, and what he would change, Franz said that he really couldn't think of anything specific because he and his team are making constant improvements to that vehicle's design iterations. The versions of specific elements of a vehicle are frequently updated. McCaffrey noted that there have been at least 4 seat changes in the Model S, for instance, and the infamous yoke steering wheel is the Model S and X have been recently updated to allow for a more standard wheel if an owner wants that option. Steering wheels are actually a really good example of how Tesla changes and updates their design all the time as they get user feedback. The yoke, for instance, is so popular that they've included it in the Cybertruck's design and the capacitive controls. The Force Touch scrolling buttons on the newer Model 3 and Y steering wheels will be continued as well and modified according to user feedback. These new buttons are designed to remove the stock unconventional steering wheels that control the turning signals and windshield wipers. Franz said this change was made because the designer saw a need. Older cars with mechanical switches on the wheel and stock get worn down and corroded with time. Hopefully, these new controls will solve that issue and be easier to keep clean. But it's all about trying to change things that don't work. Before we continue, please give a thumbs up if you are enjoying this video so far. And stay tuned until the very end to know more about the Tesla Cybertruck design. Going back to Franz's comments about constantly working on the Model S, those changes are all for things that aren't quite perfect yet. When talking about why the Model 3 is, in Franz's view, a pretty well-designed car, he says that Tesla uses the "if it ain't broke, don't fix it" mentality. Sure, they tinker with the small stuff, but unless a larger redesign is needed, Franz says the team doesn't regularly touch any larger parts. And what makes this constant design work so easy is that there are very few barriers to the design team collaborating with people in other disciplines, which Franz says is not typical of other companies he's worked at. Remember, Franz has been in the industry since 1992 and has worked for some of the biggest automotive companies out there. He says that at Tesla, there are no middle managers to go through if he needs to talk to engineers on the assembly floor. He has daily, sometimes hourly meetings with Tesla's on-site aerodynamics engineers about the design of their car bodies. So if people are wondering why Tesla makes such solid designs, Franz says that's the reason. Going with that though, Franz was asked why Tesla didn't keep a unified design language for their vehicles. Most other car companies go to great lengths to make sure that they have a recognizable body shape or silhouette, which helps mark them from their competitors. Tesla's 4 main vehicles do have a recognizable shape language, but then you throw in a Cybertruck and things get weird pretty fast. Franz explains that this is done on purpose. Tesla wants to make sure that new designs are being produced by its world-class team without restrictions. How else would something like the Cybertruck come from the same company that made the Model S? That's why when there was some discussion of the potential for a cyber line of vehicles, like maybe a van and a car using the same angular steel construction, Franz seemed to pan the idea. It's not like they hadn't thought of it, but there are other designs that might work better in places like China. And that brings us the design centers in both Berlin and Shanghai, which point to another reason for a lack of continuous design language. At Tesla, localization uses cases for vehicles are different depending on the environment and culture. So Tesla wants to eventually be able to have vehicle designs that reflect those differences. They want Asian-designed vehicles in Asia and European ones for Europe. Maintaining a tight grip on design language would make that difficult for no good reason. Throughout the interview, Franz was consistent in his tone. Sure, we did get some confirmation on things the community was wondering about, like the Cybertruck scratch resistance or newer paint colors potentially coming to North America. Franz says the new colors are really pretty up close, by the way. And we got little moments where McCaffrey got some stern. No comments from Franz as he bumped up against questions like, is the Model 3 redesign going to include a structural battery pack? But what really got with this interview is a look inside the philosophy that makes Tesla tick. Their design team is integrated directly into almost every other team in the company worldwide. That level of flexibility is what keeps them ahead in their field. Franz said in the interview that Tesla's big focus is improving the manufacturability of their vehicles right down to shortening the time between design and production itself. Every time he answered the question about where the designs for a vehicle were going, it was always with that in mind. If Franz and his team are representatives of the other teams at Tesla, then it's really no wonder why they're as innovative as we've seen. So what are your thoughts about Tesla's Cybertruck design? Which automaker do you see as a rival of Tesla? Please tell us in the comments. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'm Fred. Please subscribe to our channel for more technology updates and like and share this video. Now, did you know that Ford CEO admits something that Elon Musk is right? If you want to know more about this, click and watch the next video here.